Welcome back to Mother Finance, your one stop destination for all the latest updates and analysis on the world of cryptocurrencies. In today's episode, we'll be discussing the amazing rise of Blur. So stay tuned. New crypto Blur rises 10,000% on debut. The Blur token, the crypto of the NFT aggregator Blur, was launched on February 14 of 2023, exactly 1 week ago. The launch took place on Huobi with the Blur USDT exchange pair. The initial price was $0.01, but on the day of the launch, it went up to $9.90, which is currently the all time high. Very likely, both prices were excessive, one too low and one too high, so much that already the next day the range narrowed quite a bit. Moreover, starting on February 16th, it began to lateralize to around $1, so that even today its price is around $1.2. In other words, on the very day of its launch, it registered an incredible plus 98,000%. But this lasted for a very short time, followed by an almost instantaneous negative 90%, taking as a reference the value around which the price then lateralized in the following days. The gain over the launch price was about plus 10,000%. However, it is worth mentioning that the initial boom lasted less than 1 hour, so it was almost impossible to actually buy it at $0.01. Indeed, just over 1 hour after listing, its price was $0.7, so it would be best to take this as a benchmark. Let's talk about the volume right now. The very brief initial boom occurred with $2 million in trading volumes on Huobi, while the following negative 90% with 5 million. In addition, daily trading volumes for now have been steadily shrinking day by day, as after $31.5 million on the debut day, they dropped to $24.5 million the following day, and then dropped $10 million yesterday. Meanwhile, the ERC20 token has also been listed on other exchanges alongside Huobi. It has not yet arrived on Binance, and for now the largest trading volumes are on OKX. On its debut day, trading volumes on OKX were already much higher than on Huobi. It was 102 million versus 2 million only, peaking the next day with $218 million in trade. Yesterday, they were down to 75 million. On the second largest exchange by trading volume on Blur is KuCoin, with $25 million on debut and a peak of $43 million on February 16. It is now down to $22 million. It is worth noting that the decreasing volumes on the exchanges suggest that the market makers anticipated that most of the trading would occur in the initial days. Nonetheless, trading on Coinbase increased in the following days, suggesting that the composition of Blur investors and speculators is changing. Now let's talk a little bit about the Blur NFT, which is an aggregator with significant NFT trading volumes. Despite the fact that its token was launched only last week, the platform has been actually in existence for some time. The most trending NFT collection on Blur is Bored Ape Yacht Club, but it's not the most traded. The most traded is Other Deed, followed by Mutant Yacht Club. Blur bills itself as the fastest NFT marketplace, with the slogan Execute trades faster and make more money on Blur. It therefore seems more aimed to speculators than artists, so much that it has no fees on trades. For now, it claims to have nearly 150,000 users. During the so-called Season 1, 360 million Blur tokens were distributed to the community out of the existing 388 million, and now Season 2 has begun. And now let's talk a little bit about Blur and the cryptocurrency in general. Blur's debut on the crypto market has been associated with other interesting movements over the past 7 days. One of the most interesting is the rising prices of some major cryptocurrencies, primarily BTC and ETH, just as several government authorities have initiated some tough regulatory actions. For example, the SEC has formally charged Terra's founder Do Kwon with fraud and has proposed new custody rules that could make it more difficult for investment firms to work with crypto companies. In other words, now it really seems that crypto markets want to give a clear signal of strength and resilience after all that has happened in the past year. For example, Coinbase's trading volume is still higher than Uniswap's, in spite of predictions that decentralized exchanges were on the rise after various problems many centralized exchanges, most notably FTX, experienced. Instead, Coinbase, which is the largest US centralized exchange, is showing that users continue to trust centralized exchanges so much that its cumulative exchange volumes in these first weeks of 2023 amount to more than $185 billion compared to Uniswap's $93 billion. In other words, about twice as many exchanges take place on Coinbase as on the world's leading decentralized exchange. By contrast, in 2022, Uniswap's trading volumes were roughly equal to those of Coinbase, but this trend appears to be only temporary. And now let's go to the part you were waiting for, the Blur price prediction. The formation of a famous bullish pattern called ascending triangle has created a sense of prolonged bullish rally in the Blur token price. Under the influence of this pattern, the coin price shows a series of new higher highs and higher lows, indicating a steady uptrend. Here is how this pattern may further influence the future of the Blur coin. An ascending triangle pattern is considered bullish as reaching a higher low indicates the growth is bullish in nature. Blur holders can maintain a bullish sentiment, the support trendline is intact. The intraday trading volume in Blur is $487.2 million, indicating a 22.3% loss. So, under the influence of this pattern, Blurcoin price gave a massive breakout from the $1.21 neckline resistance of this pattern on November 19th. This breakout is possible to give buyers a significant footing to bolster further rally. However, since yesterday the coin price is hovering above the bridged resistance trying to check stability at the new reclaimed levels. If the Blur price shows sustainability above the $1.21 mark, the buyers could drive up the price by 52% to hit the mark of $1.82. On a contrary note, a 4-hour candle closing below the rising trend line could invalidate the bullish thesis. The support breakdown could trigger a correction phase and plunge prices to the $1.03 mark. So let's focus on two technical indicators here, the EMA and the RSI. The 20 EMA support offers additional support to the Blur's price to maintain above $1.22 support. The downsloping RSI slope indicates weakness in bullish momentum and a higher possibility for support breakdown. Okay, that's all for today, and thank you for watching. See you on the next one.